Welcome to the Do Zone, where entrepreneurs go to get things done. I'm your host, Josh Thomas. You can find me on all social media at JT Literally. Each week, I bring on experts from a variety of backgrounds to share their secrets on how to optimize performance so you can take massive action and crush your goals. If you want help to bring in quick cash and wins for your business in as little as the next 7 days, I'm going to give you a simple framework that has worked for me and my clients time and time again at no cost to you. Go to factor1.io now, enter your email address for immediate access. Once again, that's factor1.io. Today's guest is Ben Kirk. Ben is a highly sought after productivity and high performance expert known for his direct approach to helping individuals and businesses achieve their goals. His mantra, do better, be better, win the day, encapsulates his philosophy of self-discipline, consistency, and accountability. Ben, welcome to the Do Zone. Tell us something you believe is the key to getting stuff done that most people wouldn't think of.
Yeah, g'day, Josh. Thanks for having me here. So the key to getting things done most people might not think about is probably the weekly review. And that's actually something that my business is built upon, is the idea of at the end of the week, let's take what lessons we've learned throughout the week, what worked, what didn't, what obstacles did we hit, did we win the day or did we win the week, and apply that to the next week. And it's something that can only take 15 to 30 minutes. We do it with support of an app and of course supportive coaching, but it's definitely a practice and a routine that someone can put in place very easily at the end of the workday on a Friday or on a Sunday and prepare themselves for the upcoming week.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't put enough effort or weight into just looking back on what we did and looking ahead to what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got some clients, we actually put together a daily review process. And actually, I do call it the bookends. And that is setting up your day right and finishing your day right, and using the same sort of principles of reviewing the day, what worked, what didn't, did we get our number one thing done? But most people, at the very least, if they can just do a weekly review, then they're going to see that they're going to have that sort of incremental improvement leading to those exponential results.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where sometimes you do what you can do, and as entrepreneurs we think, well, I can't get up at 5 a.m., so I'm just going to get up at 10 a.m. But you can get up at 7 a.m. and that's still okay. I know that
Yeah,
that's something you struggled
absolutely.
with as a. It says here you were a jazz musician, so being a part of the 5 a.m. club's pretty tough because the gigs are at night.
Yeah, making that transition was definitely tough, and I still have a lot of clients that come to me now and they tell me, "Look, I want to be able to get up at 5 a.m." And the first thing we've got to ask is why. Why do we need to get up at 5 a.m.? Is it because we're not productive during the days? But is it because we just don't seem to be getting all the things on our to-do list done during the day? Perhaps we don't need to get all those things done on the to-do list. Maybe they're not, maybe those things aren't important. And just sort of come to terms with the why we need to get up at 5 a.m. is the big shift a lot of people need to make. Now, there's no disagreement from my side that getting up early gives you a great start to the day. You can get a lot more done. It's that quiet time. But certainly making the transition from a night owl to a morning person, and I don't even know whether I'm still a morning person. I just like to get up early and get things done early. It was definitely tough.
Let's talk a little bit about the idea of you talk about this concept called the power of a minimum viable dose. And so what
Mm.
does that mean exactly and how do we apply that as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, look, I know you're a James Clear fan, so the origins have certainly come from there, right? The idea is along the lines of habit stacking. So, for example, I might have a client that wants to add reading into their weekly routine. They've identified that reading is going to be extremely important for their personal growth. Maybe it's technical reading that is perfect for their career, and they need to upskill. And they think that they need to read, let's just say 1 hour every day. If they want to make something of it, it's got to be 1 hour every day. But they haven't had that as a routine. It hasn't been part of their morning routine. They don't have it as a daily habit. the minimum viable dose is bringing that back down to the smallest amount that they can actually do consistently every single day, get that into a habit, build that into their routine, and then start stacking it up from there. So that might just be 10 minutes. It might just be 15 minutes. I think we can remember the analogy of people, rather than having to go all the way to the gym, it is, well, put on your workout clothes first thing in the morning and take a walk around the house or take a walk down the letterbox. That's that minimum viable dose. What I did about a year ago was turn that into my coaching. So rather than doing 1 hour or 1.5 hour executive coaching sessions, we worked out that at the end of the coaching, it was the action steps and it was the implementation that made the most impact from the coaching sessions. So stripped away 80% of the coaching, and now it's just 15 to 20-minute accountability sessions where we go through the weekly review. It is supported by the app as well. But that's what I'm sort of using for minimum viable dose coaching. It's like straight into the action steps or reflection points. What can we do about it? Action steps, implementation. And that's weekly. And so we're sort of always looking at that sort of 80-20 idea, minimum viable dose, habit stacking. And that's the way we're able to get that sort of consistent growth and success.
It's really interesting that you mentioned this of, there's a lot of fluff in almost everything. You read a book that's 200 pages and 180 of those pages are garbage. But there's 5 to 10 sentences in there that will change your life. And the goal is we read the book to find those 5 or 10 sentences. And wouldn't it be great if we could just get rid of all the rest of it and just give you the lesson that you need and give you the implementation that you need? And so I love what you're saying there. When we strip away, if you're a coach or a consultant or even a business partner and you're running a business, you strip away, the majority of what you do doesn't even matter. It comes down to 1 or 2 key tasks, 1 or 2 key activities or conversations that are really making most of the difference.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, take goal setting for example, and there are so many books written about goal setting. There are so many convoluted ways that people can go about goal setting. The little ebook I wrote just talks about write down 10 things you want to be, do, have. 10 things you want to be, do, or have, and write down those 10 things and then leave it and come back the next day. Don't look at the day before and write down 10 more things or 10 things again that you want to be, do, have. And then as we go through that process, we'll add a time to it. We'll add a category to it. We might rephrase a little bit, but we're not trying to make it so hard and convoluted approach for goal setting. It's just to think about 10 things we want to be, do, have, and let's go from there. So it's really trying to simplify it because there are so many books written about all these topics. So I talk about the waffle and fluff, I talk about the BS and stuff, because people need to make it their own. They need to make their brand or their story on their way of doing it so that they can sell their programs or they can sell their coaching. And a lot of the stuff, it's very, very similar. Yes, it's got some other slight changes on it, which is appreciated by a certain audience. But at the same time, this stuff just goes all the way back 2,500 years to the Stoics. We're finding new ways of writing it and new ways of sharing it. But what I'm trying to do is just take out that key information and give it to people in a very maybe direct way or very simplified way that we can actually implement it. That's the key. We'll all read that great book, but will we actually implement it? And it's those steps we're trying to focus on.
Yeah, well said. You were talking about goal setting, and I was thinking, for the longest time, I like the SMART framework. It's nice and simple. It's only 5 things to remember. But when you think about it, I don't know, it's almost too much. What really matters about a goal? Can you measure it? And can it be accomplished? So I'm almost moving away from the SMART framework, and I'm moving towards the MA framework. Listen to your MA, measurable, achievable. As long as it's measurable and achievable, you're good. It's a good goal. The rest of it doesn't matter. Keep it simple.
I'm with you 100% there.
Yeah. Awesome. And so tell us a little bit more about what you do, Ben, and who you connect with and how people can connect with you.
Yes, thanks. So it's really about people that want to take back control of their business, take back control on their life. Most people I work with are entrepreneurs. They might run a business turning over 3 to 5 million. Some of them are a bit larger than that, some of them a bit smaller, some of them are executives. And what I do is focus on the weekly review. It's accountability coaching. So I hold people's feet to the flame. If they say they're going to do something in 1 week and they don't do it, we have a chat. We have a chat about why they didn't do it. What were the obstacles? What were the blocks that came up? Why did they procrastinate? And then how can we take that and move it to the week after? So my business is called Win the Day. The website is wintheday.com.au for Australia at the end there. And there's a bunch more information about how I go about implementation with my clients. And I have a special link on there for you as well. It'll just be wintheday.com.au/the do zone. And people can find out a bit more about me there as well.
Excellent. I love that. So Ben Kirk, everybody, we're going to wrap up from here. Thanks so much to our guest for coming on, joining us, and sharing some wisdom about how he gets things done. To learn more about Ben, you can go to wintheday.com.au/the do zone, and you can connect with him directly there. And whether you're on your morning commute, you're in the gym, or somewhere out in the field, snap a selfie, tag me at JT Literally, show me what you do while you're in the do zone. And one more time, if you need a quick injection of cash in your business right now, I got a free gift for you. Just go to factor1.io, enter your email, and I'll give you immediate access. Know this, you are Factor One for your own success. Now, let's get to work.